Hello everyone, this is my session 11 assignment video. This session will continue our exploration of assessment quote unquote for learning. Almost all of you had or will have a strong reaction to the term paper assignment. Mr. Jones. Many have had similar experiences. Grades should not be a surprise. Marissa got a B plus, and she had no clue why, other than she used the pronoun she too much. Grades should not be a surprise, which is why I post the running average, so you have known all semester how you have done, what your final grade, how your final grade was affected by every assignment. I hope you knew that. Several of you have mentioned the Emily video, which is great. It's a must-watch for everyone. It appears staged. Now, I've had that feedback from some of my students. Oh, that's staged. The thing is, it's a real situation, and of course, it's rehearsed, and I'm sure they did many cuts, but it actually happened. That's exactly why her reading assignments, the 2 pieces of writing, went from mediocre at best to exceptional. So keep that in mind when you're, excuse me, when you're watching it. You should also take some time to watch the 2 videos that I've supplied in this week's course materials by Rick Wormelli. He's a middle school teacher who is an educational writer and consultant. He's still teaching, that's why I like it. That's why I like Heather Walpert Gowan. She's also a blogger, but is also still teaching. So he has many videos on YouTube. The 3 I have shared, one's in session 12, are enlightening when it comes to grading and the acceptance of late work. I like his little comment on giving zeros and putting kids behind the 8 ball like they're in a deep well and hello down there. Oh, you say you can't get out? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, wait till next year. Which, when you think about it, giving a 0 can do that to a student. So I'm looking forward to more active discussion this week. There are some issues presented by the authors of several articles I have placed in course materials that should transform the way you look at grading, as well as formative assessment. One of the things I've also shared, and I want you all to check those out in, I believe I've done it in this semester, in coursework in this session, but I know I did it in ancillary materials. You should all take a look at what I've added there, because there's some great things, and I think I mentioned it last week, 25 quick formative assessments, and the ultimate list, 65 tools and apps to support formative assessment. So I know I mentioned those last, but they're so important that I want to mention them again. They're all resources that can really strengthen your teaching and using assessment in your classroom. End of semester assignments. There's only 2 weeks left. And the last week is a short week and ends May 3rd on a Thursday. So for this Monday, you need to have completed all your posts for the current discussion board. Remember that I moved up the time limit for advanced posts. That was, so if you posted your initial post yesterday, Sunday, you get advanced credit. So it's normally 3 days later. So if you post on Wednesday, you will get proficient or distinguished credit. That's an A. So you have until Wednesday to get distinguished credit. Then it goes down from there. 8, 9, and then 10, you don't get any. Well, you do get some credit, but minimal credit. So this semester, or this session, I keep calling it semester, This semester, you're going to have to read chapter 12 on, I believe that's session 10. You should have read chapter 12 on formative assessment. In this session, you'll need to, I don't believe there's a lot of new reading. You have to do the discussion board, and that closes on Sunday night, as I said. These O'Connor's 15 Fixes for Broken Grades and Reeves's Toxic Grading Practices, most of you have already looked at those. This is, excuse me, this is Rick Wormelli's article on redos and retakes. So this is something worth reading, his take on redos and retakes and his rationale for why he allows them. This is something extra I've added, rubrics for sound grading practices. It's something you can look at. You'll notice that it's all about things that we've talked about. It's organizing your grade book, including factors in the grade, considering assessment purpose. Why am I assessing this? Considering most recent information. So that's why I weight your later assignments more than your earlier ones, because I do this. Summarizing information and determining the final grade, verifying assessment quality and student involvement in that grading. So all of those things are you can use that, share that with your colleagues, because many of them have these antiquated notions of grading. So your selected response test will be uploaded this week, and make sure you have answers, because I can't go back and look for 60 different tests to see, is this answer, I don't know what this answer is, I got to check this out. So put your answers in there so I can say, hey, this is obvious, or this is not obvious, or this is a good question or not bad. So I need, especially in fill in the blanks. So make sure you include answers when you upload your test as a Word document. Okay. Again, there's a link to the course evaluation. It supposedly ended on Friday, April 20th, but if you haven't done it, try clicking on the link and you may still be able to submit your evaluation. In the last session, which ends May 3rd, you need to upload your vocabulary in your own words. Many of you will be tempted to use the textbook definitions, but put those in your own words. It makes a difference in memory. You'll remember them better. But remember, you have to get it correct. I once had a student who got several wrong and then emailed me and said, you told me to put it in my own words, but it still has to be correct. And you also need to upload your final baseline survey in session 12, complete with citations and a reference list. So you need citations in each section. Make sure you go back and look at how to correctly cite the EdTPA, elementary education. I have all the correct reference formats under each source in Blackboard. So there's no excuse for getting that wrong. And finally, you need to upload your three-part analytic summary, or your TPAS. I've included the rubric below here in the put that on the right page. This is the rubric. You should have that anyway. You should have access to that anyway. So make sure most of it is very general, but you have to have at least 2 citations or 3 citations in each. I believe it's 2. Let me see. Need for further instruction, at least 3 specific examples are explained. So here it's got correct APA format was used, at least 2 citations in each section. So that's each one of your sections. Section 1, Section 2, Section 3 has to have at least 2 citations. They can be the same citation, but I prefer it if they were different, especially when it comes to Section 2. Section 2. Where talks about what was the test creation process like for you. So that's the rubric. That's due on the last May 3rd. And also, I would highly recommend watching my TPAS video. And I explain exactly what I want, just like I've done all semester. So I want you to get an A+. And mostly, when it comes to my assignments, I'm looking for the formatting is what I want you to get. Usually the content is good. It's the formatting. It's not citing the work. It's not putting in, not listing every test taker's score. You know, in the beginning. You know, so and so got 100%. So and so got 90%. You know, and that's all in my video. So that's it for the assignments. I will be back next Monday with my final teaching memo, and you will never hear from me again.